Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just welcome to a little quick overview of the Huina 1593. This is the servo excavator with the metal bucket. Everything else is plastic and rubber treads. Obviously, mine's a little dirty. I've been using it. Everyone's, done some sort of unboxing and general review of it, but I wanted to do a bit of a after use review, kind of explaining just what it's really like having one of these. What can you really do with them, where's the limits. So yeah, in general, plastic body, hardened plastic. It is pretty solid. The actual servo arms are also plastic, but they're also quite solid. I haven't actually had any issues with them. We've just had rain recently. You'll see in a quick clip I'll put in a second, which is this in action, going through some pretty thick wet mud. It can still dig actually efficiently, and it's overall a pretty dang good toy. I can't say quite at the level of the hobby enthusiast, the hydraulic versions. For me, this was only a $430 purchase. I'm in Australia, so that's Australian dollars. But for $430, I can still do a lot of the things that hydraulics can, just not quite as well. The controller itself, you're not looking at anything too flash. Sorry, it's a bit dark as well, but you probably would have already seen a first review, so this is just an extensive extra to everything else you've seen. So yes, metal bucket, plastic body, rubber treads. The rubber treads do have their disadvantages, so I tend to find that, especially like right now, they're pretty clogged up with a bit of the mud I've been rolling through. If I try to get it to go somewhere a little bit more strenuous, saying using just one tread, trying to turn, the actual drive gear will slip in the rubber tread, so you'll tend to find that that'll just either wreck it if you're not being careful, or it's something you just have to avoid. The metal bucket, honestly, I can't say there's a single fault with it. It's incredibly solid. Well, I can't knock it right now, it's covered in mud, but incredibly solid. It can dig through all of it. It's gone through a hellish large amount of rock and mud, thick dirt, all that kind of stuff, and it's still the same way it was when I first got it. Yeah, otherwise it's pretty self-explanatory. It can't dig through solid dirt or mud. It's just too much for the servos to handle. Thankfully, they do cut themselves out when it starts to reach too much, so you'll never have to worry about clicking gears or snapping teeth on the gears in those servos. But otherwise, this will dig what you want. I am currently in the process of building a small quarry, I guess you could say, in the backyard. You would have seen that short clip in the first video I uploaded, was this in action doing that. Just preparing it, really. I do have the Huina metal dump truck, the 400 one. I believe that's the 1582. That one I'll do a later review as well. I use that with this, and I also have two 1540s, which I'll do a weekend review very shortly. But I figured I'd start with your main object. It is getting real dark, so I'll have to wrap this up for you guys. I don't want to keep it too long anyway. But I'll show you a clip in a second of it in action. But basically, can't dig through anything too thick, but it's very good at digging through basically anything else. You just got to have some patience. In my case, I use a gardening rake just to loosen up the dirt, and she's all sweet. She'll do all the work you need. Get some practice in 90-degree turns, no problem. Pulling yourself up high ledges, get some practice, no problem. All that kind of stuff. So yeah, we'll jump on over to that clip now, and yeah, that'll give you a pretty decent idea. I do mention a thing or two in there, but nothing major. It's really just, this is what it does. Basically, if you don't have the big money to get the metal one, get this one. I can't see any point of getting the 1594. That's just this with accessories. So either the metal one or this one, or you have the money for hydraulics, which I don't. So good on you, and let me know how hydraulic goes, because I really want one. Just can't afford to spend it. But yeah, 1593. Worth it if you don't have too much money. It's getting too dark now, so I'll let you guys watch the video of it in action. This is what I've been currently working on. As you can hear, does get quite noisy. This is without the audio on itself. Sorry, I actually bumped it back on. This dirt's been loosened, but it is very wet. So obviously it's not going to be perfect, but it is able to dig it pretty alright considering it's just run on servos. And you can see also just then with that previous dig, and I might be able to get it to go again. When I try and dig a big scoop, I don't know that one worked, but the plastic body shows that it's very light. As you go to dig, it'll basically pull itself in if you try and dig anything that's too thick and heavy. But here's a spot, yeah, you can see there, it's really struggling there because it's not as loose as the rest of it. But yeah, basically that's how she goes. The movement. Got boom, up and down, swing left and right, bucket in and out, and your arm forth and back. You've also got your sound and your lights, if that one wants to work. There we go. You have to give them a solid press. It's not the greatest quality controller, but still pretty dang good. Haven't had any issues with it so far. It's a bit light, but sturdy enough that, you know, obviously you're going to use it, but you're not going to throw it around, so it should be good.